Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce many different twists and turns as well as surprises in this film by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, we are just 107 days away from the release of this movie. We are getting closer and closer. The marketing of this film is now coming into full swing with, of course, the time and point which we approach the final trailer of Episode 9 due for release this October, and of course followed by numerous TV spots, etc. Now, the thing about Episode 9 is that we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm view this as a very important film for the Skywalker saga. It also determines the future of the franchise and where it's going to stand. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that Rey is traveling to the Lost City, where she is in search of ancient Jedi and Sith lore to keep historical accuracy as she is on a path to building a new order. It's explained that eventually Rey discovers a place called the Prime Jedi Temple, where she eventually sits on the mosaic of the Prime Jedi Temple and begins to meditate. This is when she begins to hear the Force Ghost voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi reaching out to her, and is said to explain why fans heard Kenobi say, "These are your first steps to Rey in The Force Awakens." One of the sequences is said to involve Kenobi revealing a big secret about Darth Sidious / Palpatine, where Kenobi reveals to Rey that he senses a disturbing connection between herself and the Dark Lord of the Sith. Additionally, it's said that Kenobi reveals to Rey that he has actually felt the sinister presence growing for the past couple of years, and eventually realized that was the very Sith Lord that destroyed the Jedi Order and practically put the Jedi into extinction. Kenobi describes that this energy resides in the unknown regions and tells her to find the device called the Wayfinder before Kylo does, which is also what's set to be explained by Luke in the film beforehand. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, in case you guys did not know, Episode 9 is going to feature many different relics and artifacts in this movie that's going to push the story forward. One of the big relics is, of course, a device called the Wayfinder, which is said to hold hyperspace routes to the unknown regions. Now, Obi-Wan Kenobi's Force Ghost voice is said to tune in during Rey's meditation in the Prime Jedi Temple, hence why you do hear in The Force Awakens Kenobi reaching out to Rey, stating, "Rey, these are your first steps." So that's actually going to be a part of that particular sequence in Episode 9, and turns out that that line of dialogue by Kenobi in Episode 7 was actually a voice from the future that Rey was actually hearing. So what I find so very inspiring about this is that we do know that The Rise of Skywalker is going to really borrow a lot of elements from Star Wars Legends. And in Star Wars Legends, let me tell you, the unknown regions really was a focus in there. And now in Episode 9, they are focusing on the unknown regions once again. So the thing about this is that we have a moment in which Kenobi also unveils to Rey that she has a disturbing connection to Lord Sidious, the Dark Lord of the Sith who destroyed the Jedi Order, and that Kenobi has felt this presence for years and eventually found out that it was indeed Palpatine all along. And that's exactly why both Kylo and Rey are now racing towards the Wayfinder. This Wayfinder device, by the way, is said to locate itself toward Palpatine's location over in the unknown regions, specifically in the Beyond. Now, the Beyond is a location within the unknown regions, a very secret location, if you will, where he is hiding his new Sith Empire that actually has around 500 Star Destroyers equipped with Death Star technology that can wipe out the surface of any planet at its own will. So, with that being said, this film does have a lot going for it. It really is a movie that's going to be based around a MacGuffin, which is basically a plot device that moves the story forward. You know, if you look at the character of Luke Skywalker and the map of Skywalker, that was the MacGuffin of course, The Force Awakens. The same exact thing here applies with the Wayfinder in Episode 9 that once also belonged to Darth Vader. Very interesting stuff, because the Wayfinder is connected to the unknown regions, and that's exactly how Rey and Kylo will find their way there. You guys may recall that on Jakku, in the Jakku Spire, is that Palpatine actually held hyperspace routes to the unknown regions. So the thing here is this: we do know that Palpatine is not going to be a mere cameo. He's not going to be a little character that's going to pop up out of nowhere. Everything will be explained about Palpatine's return and where he's been and what's been going on in the background and how things are really going to unfold between the three characters and how that's all going to evolve by the very end of this movie. And I think that's the more, I guess you could say, exciting part about Episode 9 is to see exactly how it's all going to be utilized in this story by J.J. George and Chris, and exactly how the Skywalker saga will come to its conclusion. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.